Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the July 1st, 2025 reorganization meeting. Please rise to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, the first order of business on the agenda is to swear in our newly elected board members. As the district clerk, I will administer the oath of office in alphabetical order. Mario Fazzulo is not here at this meeting, so we'll go on to Mike Fish. Welcome, Mike. Do you solemnly affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of office of board member of the Lake George Central School District according to the best of your ability? Will you please sign the oath? Thank you. Welcome, Mike. Marian McKenzie, do you solemnly affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of office of the board member of the Lake George Central School District according to the best of your ability?
Yes.
Thank you, Marianne, and welcome back to another 3 years. Okay, the next order of business is to open the floor for nominations for the position of Board President of the Lake George Central School District for the term of July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. Once all nominations for the position of Board President are received, I will ask for a motion to close the nominations for Board President. In the event that we have more than one nomination, the board will vote on the nominees in the order that the nomination was received. The board will vote on each nominee by way of roll call until a nominee receives a majority vote from the board. If there is a tie, we will hold additional votes until a nominee receives majority. Once a majority is obtained, as a district clerk, I will swear in the board president and turn over the remaining portion of the meeting to the newly elected board president. Are there any questions? Do I have any nominations for the position of board president?
I'd like to nominate Katie Bruning.
Any others? That makes it easy. Having no further nominations, can I have a motion that the nominations for the board president of the July 1st for the term July 1, 2025 through June 30th is closed?
So moved. So moved.
Second.
Whatever.
Are there any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Yay.
Katie Bruning.
Well, thank you guys for your vote of support, and always through the year, your support as we navigate things and forgive my mistakes and help me grow. So thank you for that. So we will move next to.
I need to swear your oath
Oh,
of office.
sorry.
Katie.
Ready.
Katie Bruning, do you solemnly affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of office of President of the Board of Education for the Lake George Central School District according to the best of your ability.
I will.
With an iron fist.
There we go. The date's easy. Thank you.
Katie, I am officially turning the meeting over to you.
Okay, thank you, Sarah.
Like butters.
I know.
So at this point, I'm requesting nominations for the position of Vice President.
I'd like to nominate Marion McKenzie.
Do we have any other nominations for Vice President? Okay, so we will look for a motion to close the nomination for Vice President. Do I have a second?
Second.
Oh.
All in favor of closing the motion for Vice President?
Aye.
Right. So the next is a motion to elect Mary Ann McKenzie as Vice President of the Lake George Central School District.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have,
Second.
any questions, any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Welcome, Mary Ann, and thank you very much for being willing to serve as another year as Vice President. I think we got a paper.
Mary McKenzie, do you solemnly affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of office of Vice President of the Board of Education of the Lake George Central School District according to the best of your ability?
Yes, I do.
The next item on the agenda is the next section is the reorganizational consent agenda, and I will turn that over to John.
Thank you, Katie. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Lake George Central School District hereby approves the reorganizational meeting consent agenda items A through TT as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Do you have any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is the motion to approve the board committees.
As recommended by the superintendent, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Lake George Central School District hereby approves the committee appointments as follows.
Second.
Just want to thank everybody for the committee work, that everybody really does a wonderful job and super involved, and the folks who chair the committees, and welcome to the committee world, Mike. We appreciate, Mike was very flexible in volunteering to step in our openings and some other areas. So thank you. So we'll take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is adjournment of this meeting, but stay tuned. There's another one. Do I have a motion to adjourn this reorg meeting?
So moved.
Okay, any questions? Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries. Okay. This meeting is adjourned, and we are going to go to our regular board meeting. Give me a second to get that meeting up here. Okay. Okay. So we are all present here today, except Mario Fasula was not able to make the meeting this morning. And the first item on our regular agenda is a report on the district-wide safety plan. And I'll turn that over to you, John.
Yes, thank you, Katie. As customary and required by law, the district-wide safety plan is required to go under a review every year. It has to be posted on our website for 30 days and allow for comments to be associated with that. And this year, there's been very minimal updates to that. In the past, due to legislation or other requirements through support of our safety consultants, Needham, we've had larger adjustments to the safety plan. This year, as we do every year, we have different staff turnover, and the majority of the revisions were minor in adjustments to different staffing. So that the district-wide safety plan will be on our website today. There will be a Google form link associated with that for any type of comments. It is required to have a public hearing after the 30-day period, and that public hearing will occur in August. So anybody can review it. And we will plan to have that public hearing in August, followed by a recommendation for adoption.
And we'll roll right in. Is the superintendent's report is next.
Yes, thank you, Katie. Just wanted to take a moment to thank everybody for their support. Through my back surgery, and I'm glad to be back and really full steam ahead here, getting into the summer months. It's hard to believe that the school year is over. It goes by in a blink, and just wanted to take a few moments to talk a little bit about that and some things going on this summer. So I want to start with thanking Fran and his team, Anna, Steve, and Kevin for all of their great work of graduation. It was another wonderful event, as always, and we had 57 students graduate, which was really a wonderful night. And it's so fun to see the kids take all their pictures out front with our beautiful sign as a tradition, and to see the great work of our building and grounds team really make that a pristine location for photos. So thank you, Fran, and your team for graduation. I want to take a moment to recognize some board members as well for the Board Excellence Recognition Program. So as you all know, being a board member requires a lot of work, requires a lot of professional development, requires a lot of time and energy into the work that we do leading our school district as a governance team. NYSBA, the organization that supports all of the board members across the state, has their own recognition program for the efforts and work that you all do. So, Mike, you're going to learn a little bit more about this and certainly the new board member training, but they actually have 4 different levels. So over the course of time, through different means of professional development or attending certain events, having retreats, things of that nature, NYSBA awards points, recognition point values to board members. And we have a number of recognitions today, and there's 4 different levels. So I do want to recognize Mario. I know he's not here. I'll make sure he gets this, but I want to recognize Mario for the work through NYSBA's Board of Excellence Recognition Program, for the associated professional development and accepting of additional leadership roles in our district. And Mario has reached level 1 at this point in time. So I want to congratulate Mario for that. I'll make sure he gets this. I want to take a moment to recognize Janine Bieber for her continued work in our district here, as she's also reached level 1. So I want to congratulate Janine and thank her for all of her service. So thank you, Janine. And then I want to take a moment to recognize Katie Bruning. Katie Bruning for continued work in our district, leading our district as board president, and other roles over the years of service here. And Katie has reached 500 points and level 4, which is the Board Lifetime Achievement Award. So yes, yours comes with a pen, a plaque, and all sorts of certificates. So, and I just want to also say this, a lot of this takes time, right? And it takes time to achieve. And I want to take a moment to recognize a lifetime. So Katie, congratulations. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you. And thank you, John. It's really there is a lot of work, but there's a lot of pleasure and a lot of learning and fun growth. So thank you.
I have one more here for Marianne McKenzie, who has also reached the Level 4 Board Lifetime Achievement Award as well. So I want to also thank Marianne for her dedication and leadership and supporting our governance team and our school district and our students. So thank you, Marianne.
Take it now.
So I just have a few other announcements here and just about as we head into the summer, as I've shared before, once all of our teachers and our 10-month staff leave, it's really, we turn the page very quickly to preparing for September and the return of our students and our teachers. So there's a lot that's been done. There's a lot that will be done this summer. Just want to comment on a few of them that we've successfully closed out our capital outlay project of 24-25. That has to be done by June 30th. So we have received the substantial completion. So I want to give kudos to Bonnie and her team. Some of those items included, just as a reminder, the new gym floor, which looked wonderful for graduation, greeter windows, different door hardwares to strengthen our security within the building, the technology basement garage door, which is just down here, and a basement exterior door. So really the focus of this capital outlay project, which is part of our annual budget, focused on security enhancements for the most part here in the junior senior high school. We are preparing for the capital outlay projects for 25-26. As we close out one, we start ramping up for another. We have to have those completed within the school year. So they have to be done by June 30th, which does limit the scope of things. However, we have a great plan working with our principals and Kevin Parrott on the needs of our facilities. And this one is mainly going to focus on the cupola repairs of the junior senior high school. It is in significant need of repair. And that will be a big part of it, along with high school carpet replacement. So that will be a big focus of this school year for the capital outlay. We have additional summer projects going on as well. We are finishing the upgrades to the HVAC units at the elementary school. So 6 split pack systems will be installed this summer in the offices and the psychologist's office as well. Those are the remaining locations of that building. So once those are complete, we can officially say that that school has really all updated HVAC units. So we're excited about that. There'll be additional carpet installation as well, as we're constantly working on our cycle for carpet enhancements and upgrades. Additional playground safety enhancements with mulch and borders will continue to occur. And we're excited. This is for both buildings as well, but we have been working hard over the last few years for some updated furniture in some of our classrooms. So each building will start next year with 2 or 1 in each, 2 total locations for some enhanced furniture that really supports small group instruction and flexibility in classrooms. So we're going to have 2 spots for that, and that will be, we're excited to continue that work. In the junior senior high school, there'll be 7th grade cluster renovations, focusing on turning that into more of a multi-purpose space for instruction, as I mentioned, with additional furniture to support the needs of that new space as well. Things that will include new drop ceiling, lighting, flooring, paint, and again, updated furniture for that space. Also, demo work will begin for the new special education classroom, supporting our new Pathways to Independence program. So quite a bit of work needs to occur there. And that's really in addition to all of the great work, deep cleaning, teacher room, moving teachers around, and all sorts of other projects of our facilities that will occur as well. In addition to that, we have started the building condition survey work. Bonnie has been integral in that, but we all met with our architect firm and all of the engineers. So site engineers, electrical engineers, plumbing engineers, we were all on a call going through that. And now we have a schedule where they'll be in district throughout basically the entire summer. There's several dates where they will be in our district, visually inspecting all of the facilities, walking around, engaging with us, and then they'll be developing a comprehensive plan that will be reviewed at the Building and Grounds Committee and then at the full board in January. It does take time for that to develop, so we'll be bringing the board up to speed on recommendations and then really looking at future capital projects. There's a tremendous amount of summer curriculum work. I want to thank the principals and Megan, the director of curriculum, for this. There is a tremendous amount. I won't go through the whole list because it's multiple pages, but just know I will share that, and we'll have we can share more out at our August meeting. I will share more about this in Thursday themes, but there is really from PK all the way up to 12th grade, a tremendous amount of work that our teachers will be doing this summer to enhance our curriculum, focus on areas that were brought up in the research and audit phase of our curriculum renewal cycle, and just a lot of different book studies and things of that nature. So a lot of great things going on as well. And then finally, there's quite a bit of, or I have two other last things, I'm sorry. There's quite a bit of summer family engagement opportunities. So not only will we have STEM camp in August, we will also have Jumpstart at the elementary level, youth commissions housed here at the junior senior high school. The high school will have summer school credit recovery programs as well for students in need of credits. And both libraries our library media specialists, Sarah Olson and Bridget Crossman, spend a tremendous amount of time innovating and looking for new ways to engage with students and families over the summer, specifically focused on literacy, but also family and student engagement. So the elementary school, Bridget's developed 30 summer reading circles being run or led by our student leaders. So students will be coming together and participating in summer reading circles. And she's redeveloped another formerly known as the Books and Beaches program, now called the Lit League. Just always changing things up and innovating. I love it. And they're teaming up to keep, and their slogan this year, which I thought was wonderful, is teaming up to keep our minds and bodies active all summer. So they'll have 4 locations around Lake George, 2 of which still include our beaches, but they'll spend time at Caldwell Library and over here at the junior senior high school as well. The junior senior high school library, their slogan this year is one book, one community, which is read, explore, and connect this summer. The students are reading Pam Withers' book, Tracker's Canyon, which is a wonderful book. And there'll be 4 different local hikes throughout the summer, and then a more of a larger, perhaps, gathering in the fall when students return. So a lot of options for students and families to engage this summer, and they've been sending quite a bit of information out on Parent Square about them. And finally, similar to the district-wide safety plan, the code of conduct, the district code of conduct is required to have a review every year. And that review has occurred through, in a collaborative fashion, through the District Health Safety Wellness Committee. And we've updated that with additional language around restorative practices, but also there's a lot of adjustments due to policy and law changes. So when things at the policy level change, we have to look at our other practices and ensure that they are in alignment. So we are continuing to work on that, because one of the pieces that we need to update and add pertains to the internet enabled devices policy that is at first read today. So we intend to update that within the next coming weeks. We'll get that back out. There will be a public hearing in August as well for this. So and a recommendation for readoption. So a lot going on, a lot of great things, and that's my report. So thank you.
Thank you, John. Does anybody have any questions? It's nice to have you back, John. Thank you. And thank you for all that you did remotely as well, your dedication through your back issues and surgery and recovery and continued recovery. It's nice to have you back. And thanks for the great reminder of it's not lights out at the school during the summer. It is so busy during the summer. I didn't realize that, I think, until I was on the school board, how much happens during the summer. It's really, really busy. So thank you for that report on that. The first committee, next section is our committee reports. And the first committee is Audit and Finance. And Mario is the chair of that committee. He is not here. And so I will go through, I was at that meeting. I will go through the minutes.
Yeah, or certainly Bonnie can as well.
Okay.
Do you want?
You want to, Bonnie? I don't want to put you on the spot. Okay, thank you, Bonnie.
Okay. So the treasurer's report for April and May of 25 were reviewed. All property taxes have been received. The committee reviewed interest earnings for both months. The May interest was significantly higher than the previous 6 months, as the interest for the certificate of deposit of our reserve funds had matured. We received Medicaid funding in the amount of $11,000. And the committee was made aware that 2 of our major investment companies that the district uses for their funds have merged. So the 2 companies are NICLAS and NILAF, and they have merged starting today. So it'll just be NICLAS, which you approved in the reorg meeting. The claims audit reports were reviewed with nothing noteworthy to report. The bulk of the meeting was spent looking at the debt schedule for our current transportation facility that's right now in the midst of being constructed. We have collaborated with our fiscal advisors to secure a bond anticipation note for the 1 year in the amount of 7.5 million to fund the upcoming project. Remember that this project was approved for 13.5 million. However, we have been saving 6 million in reserves to put towards that. So the remaining 7.5 million is being banned for the short term. I said bond before, I should have said ban. Short-term financing. This allows us flexibility and avoids bonding too much money that we may not need. So this is a approach we take to ensure that our fiscal management, while we're maintaining progress, is approved on for the approved project. We also spent some time looking at our long-term debt for all capital projects. We look at when one debt is rolling off. At that point, we're looking at timely adding new debt to maintain a consistent and steady debt service obligation. Our goal is to avoid peaks and valleys in our debt service payments. It allows the district to better manage its financial obligations over time. So with this, we're currently aligning our strategic planning in the future with our building condition survey that John just spoke about. And it will guide our next project, which we looked at a timeline of about 4 years, the next couple of years, proposing what the next job scope for another capital project will be. At that time, some debt will be rolling off. So we want to try to keep that debt service as steady as possible.
Thank you, Bonnie. Does anybody have any questions?
I just have a quick question. The investment companies that merged, does that have an impact on the school district plus or minus?
No, we used one company more than the other. You don't put all your eggs in one basket. We liked the services of the NILAF, the customer service, and word on the street, it's all NILAF, just NICLAS's name. But yeah, it doesn't impact one way or the other. We've been using them for some time. Any other questions?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie, for stepping in for that. The next committee report is the Curriculum Committee report. Rosemary Earl is the chair of that committee and will give that report.
Thank you. We met in the curriculum committee meeting and Megan opened up with the renewal process. As you can see on the minutes, the math and technology departments just completed the implementation stage and presented to us as a curriculum committee. So the presentations are included on the minutes. So that's really important that everyone look at. However, the highlights, the math department has changed from Common Core to Next Gen. And this year will be the new, or I guess next year will be the new Algebra 2 Next Gen exam. So they're changing all of that over and they're looking at implementing the pre-K program into that now. In the next steps, I think the math department in the high school is looking at, similar to the elementary school, they have an intervention specialist for math help for the kids. And right now, the high school uses an AIS system, so they're looking at all different options because of our declining enrollment. It's a little bit trickier on how to serve the students and still offer all the great opportunities that we have for our kids and extra help and all of that. So I think our faculty is trying to address those needs with declining enrollment and actually the loss of staff. So anyway, that's the math department. The technology department is kind of the same. Our high school is down to has a two-person department, 712. Of course, you know that their VEX robotics is very popular, and they're trying to offer still all the opportunities that they have in the past with having less students. So anyway, that's the two departments that presented to the curriculum committee throughout after their implementation stage. So I encourage you to look at the presentations because there's a lot of great information in there, and that might help clarify any questions you might have.
Oh, there it is. Thank you, Rosemary.
Okay.
Any questions?
No.
Okay, thank you. The next committee report is the policy committee report. Mary Ann McKenzie is the chair of that committee, and she will give us that report.
Okay. So we have 5 policies moving to second read today, and each of those were reported out on at the June regular board meeting. There are several policies, 6 of them, that were reviewed by the policy committee, and there were no suggested changes. So each of those policies will receive an updated date of review in the policy manual. Of those 6, 4 of those policies are reviewed annually as either required by law or best practice. And so specifically 5220 district investments, 5410 purchasing, those are required, those require an annual review by law every year. And those 2 policies were reviewed first by audit and finance committee, and then sent to the policy committee. And now they're here for first read with no suggested changes. 8260 is Title I Parent and Family Engagement, also requires annual review by law. That was reviewed at the district level with a multi-stakeholder committee, no suggested changes, and then they sent it on to the policy committee, also no changes. So, and then the last one of those 4 is 6110, Code of Ethics for board members and all district personnel, not required to be reviewed annually by law, but by best practice, and to help keep that material top of mind for everyone. And then the other 2, 1331 and 1332, that's duties of the district clerk, duties of the school district treasurer. The policy committee reviewed those per our routine policy manual review with no changes suggested. There are also 4 policies listed for first read today. And policy 33 and 1334. So that's duties of the tax collector and duties of the external independent auditor. They're just minor wordsmithing adjustments are being suggested there, nothing significant. And policy 1335, appointment and duties of the claims auditor. There is a revision in here that removes the reference to the internal auditor because Lake George does not have an internal auditor person in that role due to the size of our school. The population size is under the threshold for having an internal auditor. That said, the district has several internal auditing functions just not a specific person in that role. And then the last policy that's listed for first read is the big one. It's 7316, use of internet-enabled devices during the school day. This policy will be replacing the policy that's currently in the policy manual, and it was previously in the manual, currently as student use of personal technology. So the title has changed, and this is all due to Ed Law 2803, which requires every school district and BOCES to develop a policy restricting the use of internet-enabled devices during the school day. That's this policy, and to be in compliance with the expectations, we are expected to have a policy in place by August 1st of this year. So the policy committee worked really hard to ready this policy for first read today. And in fact, we had a special meeting last week on Wednesday, the 25th, to work specifically on this policy. And I apologize, I don't have minutes prepared for today, but they'll be present next month at next month's board meeting. But essentially, we worked on this policy, and it covers, it is inclusive of definitions, exemptions to the policy, where students will be able to store their personal devices during the day, methods for parents to contact students during the school day, consequences for violation of the policy, etc. So please take a close look at that, and it'll hopefully be moving forward from here. That's my report. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mary Ann. The next section is the school business, and the first item is the school business consent agenda.
As recommended by the superintendent, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Lake George Central School District hereby approves the school business consent agenda items A through I. In summary, item A is reference to the minutes from the June 10th regular board meeting. Items B and C are in reference to the Committee on Special Education recommendations, along with the treasurer's reports. Item D is the claims auditor's reports. That was part of the committee report as well for audit and finance. Item E is a annual resolution in regards to the district's ability to, when issues arise due to insects or other reasonings that impact our athletic fields, our playing fields, or our trails, we are able to then seek professional support through the use of pesticides or other means to eradicate those unsafe insects. So that's a customary annual resolution. Item F is the motion for the 2 readings as presented. Item G is the items that are on the July 2025 surplus list, mainly obsolete and outdated textbooks. Item H and I, while lengthy, are just in reference to our ability to continue our cooperation. It's really to allow us to continue to be part of a consortium called Cooperative Energy Purchasing Services, NICEMEC, which allows us to purchase energy at a lower cost. And that's what those 2 resolutions reference.
Thank you. And before I ask for a motion for that, thank you. Jeff pointed out there's typically a public comment before we move into this section. So I'm going to offer a public comment to this, prior to moving forward with this section. We have anyone with a public comment? Seeing none here with us, I just want to let you know, if you are attending virtually and you have a question or comment, this section is for anything regarding items on the agenda. You can send an email to boe@lkgeorge.org. The board members and superintendent will receive that email, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you, Jeff, again. So in what John just spoke about, do I have a motion?
Second.
Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries. Okay, the next section is faculty staff appointments. And we have the faculty staff consent agenda.
As recommended by the superintendent, be resolved that the Board of Education of the Lake George Central School District hereby approves the faculty staff appointment consent agenda items A through F. Item A is a revision to the resolution that was approved by the board in June. And it's regards to some clarification around tenure and Stephanie's ability to receive tenure in both ESL and speech and language services. Item B is a motion to approve the leave of absence request of Natalie Cheney. Item C is a motion to approve the leave of absence request of Michelle DeMarche. Item D is a motion to approve the 25-26 extracurricular and co-curricular lists and salaries associated. And item E is a motion to approve the 25-26 coaches list and the 25-26 volunteer coaches list. And item F is a motion to approve the 25-26 Jumpstart and STEM camp list.
Thank you, John. Do you have anybody have any questions?
On item B, I think there's a typo on. She should be through June of 26.
You're right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Mine says that.
Oh,
I think on the refreshed one.
no, it's
It-
under, that's under.
Oh, different spot. Gotcha. Thank you. Good catch. Yeah, no, you're not. You're not. I was looking at a different spot. Yeah, thank you. So with that correction of that being 2026, thank you, Mike. Did we already do motion in second?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other questions, comments, discoveries? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries. The next section is Board of Education member comments. Did anybody have any topics today for discussion?
Well, I just would like to update the board that our new board member, Mike, and I have had the chance to connect and just get started with the onboarding onboarding process. And I do want to commend Mike. He's already covered one of the the governance training that's required for new board members. And yeah, I just want to commend you for, starting strong and
And that's a day-long
Looking-
Saturday commitment.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
but I also was thinking, listening to all the things that are going on with the buildings and grounds, and it was reminding me that, we often do a tour of the grounds in the summer for not just new board members, but anybody else who can and is interested. And so maybe we can try to find a date or two when we could get that accomplished.
Yeah, thank you, Mary Ann. Yeah, absolutely. Our building principals are integral in that, and we'll work with Mike and the rest of the board for tours, because it's nice to get in all the different spaces of the buildings and really get to see them. As there's a lot of great things that you don't see every day, so they're going to show you everything. So we'll work on scheduling that.
Thank you. And thank you, Janine. Janine's going to be working with, speaking of onboarding, with our two new students. And she and John are going to coordinate together and get things lined up to get them ready for not only August 1st, but not August 1st, but the August board meeting and the upcoming school year in their roles. So again, we're all, we all mentor each other and we're all mentors, but Janine is taking the lead on our students. So thank you. Mhm. Is there any other, okay,
Yeah, I was going to say.
okay.
I wanted to say this earlier, but I just thank you for being willing to continue being president of the board. Thank you for being competent and centered and willing and many other things too. I really appreciate it, Katie. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And it truly is a team effort. And I always feel like it's a co-presidency. Mary Ann does a lot of work, and it's much appreciated. And everyone is very supportive. I feel like we're supportive of one another, and we're in an environment where we can, say what's on our mind and be questioned in a supportive kind of way, and help each other grow. And thank you, Mike, for being willing to point out already, that's, those are the kind of things that we help each other. And so it's great. We lift each other up. So thank you. All right. And thank you, Mary Ann, for, I think I've lost count on the years of vice presidency, and it's a lot of work. So thank you for doing that. Is there any other? Okay. The next item is our second public comment, and this is for any items. And we kind of have a quiet meeting tonight, or not tonight, it's morning. This morning. That might be why it's quiet. So again, if you're online, it's lkgeorge.boe@lkgeorge.org. And that will go to the superintendent and the board if you have any questions or comments, and we will get back to you. The next item on the agenda is a proposed executive session. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of Lake George Central School District hereby proposes entering into an executive session to discuss the employment history of particular employees.
So moved.
Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries. And we do not anticipate any actions
After the executive.
after the executive session, only an adjournment. So,
There you go.
okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.